What's going on, people? It's your boy AB, and we back at it again. And trust me, y'all Jalen Hurts haters, the Jalen Hurts doubters, y'all not gonna like this one. He can't throw over the middle. He gonna be the downfall. He's holding the team back. Is Saquon leading the bus? Is the offense carrying Jalen, or is Jalen actually driving the bus? We gonna talk about it right now. And we're going to get into it right now. This is Open Gym, powered by Philly Sports Network. Let's go.
This champ talk, shooting shots, they just want me to fade. But my game made when I'm getting buckets today. Crossover, pull up, bet you fall for the hezzy. Game 7, prime time is butterflies on your belly. Now can you do it? Folding under the pressure, boy, can you do it? If you going, show them who better. Don't let the game slip and don't get caught in the lights. Crown me, yeah, Jordan taking off on the
Baby,
flight.
give me all the rings right now, we the champions. We the champions. I do my thing right now and it can't be done. They said it can't be done. Give me all the rings right now, we the champions. We the champions. I do my thing right now and it can't be done. They said it can't be done.
That's what y'all want. So that's what y'all want to see, huh?
Jalen, you said you'll figure this out. Is that what we saw tonight?
We found a way to win the game. That's what y'all wanted to see, huh? That's what y'all wanted to see, huh? That's what y'all wanted to see, huh? Y'all heard it from the man himself. But before we get into anything, y'all already know what we gotta do. The Eagles win. The Eagles win. The Eagles win. Play my song. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another episode. It's the Eagles Victory Monday. So before we start anything, we gotta hear it. Hit them high, yes sir. Welcome. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate everyone being in here today. Welcome to Open Gym, powered by Philly Sports Network, Metro Philly. I'm your host, AB, and I'm glad to be here on this great, might be a little rainy, might be a little cloudy, but a great Victory Monday here in Philadelphia as our Eagles win. Our Eagles win. You heard me. Our Eagles go for their 10th win in a row, and now currently 12-2 on the year. Super Bowl bound, playoff bound, division winning bound. Philadelphia Eagles. And before we even get into everything, again, appreciate everyone being here. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe to all channels. Follow me on social medias, the website, everything that's going on. But we're going to hop right into the action this morning. As we all know, our Eagles just won yesterday afternoon. Tom Brady hosting. And we all know the talk about today is about our boy QB1 Jalen Hurts and all the talk all week that was going on with the comments by AJ Brown and the passing game, and Jalen Hurts is just a passenger on this train that's heading to the Super Bowl. All these things that we heard about. He's only throwing 20 times. He doesn't see the routine plays. All those different things. What do we have to say now? What do we have to say now about Jalen Hurts, who went out there against the Pittsburgh Steelers, a good defense, probably not the best on the back end, but again, TJ Watt is out there, Cam Hayward, all those type of guys that's on that team, the number within top 5 in the league, and run defense and all these different things. You know, it's Pittsburgh. You know what comes with that, the steel curtain and all those things. And my QB1, my quarterback goes out there and throws 32 times, completed 25 of his passes, still efficient in doing that. And I told y'all 20 to 25 is a great lane for him to be in. Threw for 290 yards, 2 touchdowns, ran 15 times for 45 yards and a rushing touchdown, essentially accounting for literally all of the Eagles' touchdowns. And these are the people that's saying that he is the one that's just on this ride, that he's being carried, that he'll be the downfall if he can't do these things, when essentially every week he is literally the key cog in the essential person who's having all these touchdowns. 3 touchdowns yesterday, and all of them from him. 2 by his arm, and 1 obviously is a tush push. But again, I know it's not a pretty play, obviously, all the things like that. But again, his impact on the game, even being able to do that, where all quarterbacks can't do that. You probably literally can only count on one hand, and probably only 3 fingers, essentially, what quarterbacks in this NFL can actually execute that play to perfection when it's dang near 90% play. But again, Jalen Hurts, 290, 32 pass attempts, completing 25 of them, 125.3 passer rating as well. Again, great day by Jalen Hurts. All the people that was saying the different things about him, could he do these type of things? There you go. And I know the spin on it right now or today is going to be, can he continue to do it? Consistency, which I don't understand, because now you're moving the goalpost for one. Now he got to be consistent in it. First, you don't believe he could do it. Now he has to be consistent. When did he never not show that he can do this? See, fans, media, whoever you might be that want to have a take, that want to talk about Jalen Hurts all the time and his capabilities of what he can do and can do, seem to live in just this recency bias state of mind when it comes to him. I've said this before, how Jalen Hurts is literally the most scrutinized, the most overanalyzed, rather, quarterback in the NFL. And probably within my lifetime of watching this game, I probably can name a couple of us, absolutely. But if we talk about right now, absolutely the most overanalyzed quarterback in the NFL. Literally, every play has to be perfect. Every play has to be online. Every play has to be on time and rhythm. All these things that these so-called analysts and backup quarterbacks in these leagues try to say. Like, listen, I understand you were one of the people who were privileged enough to be in the NFL and all of that, but just because you make it to the league don't mean you're good. I'm sorry. You might know the insides of the game. You might know but when you start speaking on things and you're a backup in this league that didn't do anything, you might have got a lot of money. I ain't mad at people making a lot of money. And I know y'all know who I'm talking about, because y'all watch the show a lot. But again, all these different things you try to say that he can't do, he's shown this before. In his tender hair in with the Philadelphia Eagles early on, yes, the offense was very dumbed down, very run-based, with him included, with Jalen running a lot. But since he started, taking on that challenge of actually throwing the ball, he's shown that he can do these things. The Eagles has come to a point in time that they're so good, that this team is so complete at this moment, that whatever, and their mindset as well, and we'll get into Nick Sirianni later on as well, but their mindset is whatever it needs to be done to win the game, we're going to do it. So if it's needed for Jalen to scramble 1 week, we're going to do it. If it's needed for Saquon to go for rush for 30 times for 250 yards, we're going to do it. And for a case like Sunday afternoon against the Pittsburgh Steelers, which, like I said, definitely a good run defensive team, Saquon Barkley only having 60 yards on the game Sunday afternoon, we could also throw the ball. And you come out with numbers with A.J. Brown, 11 targets, catching 8 of his 11 targets for 110 yards and a touchdown. You have excuse me, you have someone like Schmitty, Devontae Smith, also 12 targets, catching 11 of his 12 for 109 yards for a touchdown as well. These are the things that we know we can do as a team. But we're not going to, and they've made this very clear to media members, to fans, to whomever want to speak on how they conduct themselves Sunday in and Sunday out, or week in, week out, is that whatever they need to do to go out there and win a game, they're going to go out there and win the game in whatever fashion that cause them to go and win. Sometimes it will be the defense. Sometimes it'll be the passing game. Sometimes it'll be the run game. Sometimes we'll have to maybe do some special teams to help out in the instance as we seen last week when we're pinning the Panthers back on the 3-yard line from a punt. This is what and we have to give credit to Howie Roseman. This is what happens when you construct a team that has this much depth, had this much talent on this roster, that you don't have to be one-dimensional every week, that you don't have to rely on your quarterback to throw 30 times every week, that you don't have to rely on your running back to run 30 times every week. Saquon Barkley, who's in the MVP conversation, who's still has a chance to break the all-time rushing record by Eric Dickerson, ran for 62 yards yesterday. And if you're outside looking in, not really understanding what this team is, you would look at that. If you were just looking at the box score, and what I just show you what Saquon done within this game against the Pittsburgh Steelers versus what he's done games prior leading up to this, you would probably think we had a tough time with this team, let alone actually winning. But no. This team is stacked. This team is constructed very well to the point that, hey, this week we're going to throw it. Y'all heard it there from them. Is this what y'all wanted? Is this what y'all wanted to see? And that's to everybody. As much as media members and fans want to come at them, that's to everybody. And then A.J. Brown as well, too. Love the comments that he had within his press conference. Now I hope everybody can shut up. Those exact words. Because yes, it might come off because it's a wide receiver. It's A.J. Brown, who's been outspoken before, but he's a team captain. He wears a C on his chest. I don't think, and I've said this, you can go back, check the last show. I've said it. I didn't take what he said as a negative. Yes, it's coming from a wide receiver, so you know the notion, diva, all those things like that. And he said it as well in his post game. The whole team said it. The passing game has to be better. Jalen Hurts, Chase Daniel said he needs to take accountability. Obviously, he's not watching. That was the first thing Jalen Hurts said after the Panthers game the previous week, was that I have to be better when it comes to throwing it. We've seen the missed throws. Not missed throws, but we've seen the missed throws as far as people wanting wide open during the Panthers game. And he's not throwing and delivering the ball. The routine plays, he admitted that, saying that he needed to be better because there were plays to be made. So let's go out there and show you that we can do it, and do it against a team that everyone probably thought we couldn't do it on. That everybody thought we couldn't do this. That TJ Watt going out there, he was going to wreck Cam Hayward going out there, he was going to cause wreck. Didn't do anything. Didn't go out there and do much. 13 points. One of the hotter teams coming into this week. One of the hotter teams in the NFL with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, the resurgence of Russell Wilson. Defense leads the league, or tops in the league, top 3 in turnovers. They caused 2 fumbles yesterday. I give them that, and caused 2 turnovers yesterday. Fumble by Jalen, a fumble by Cooper DeJean on a punt return. But that's fine. but no interceptions by Jalen. Pinpoint accuracy all day long. And y'all know I love Baldy. Y'all know I love Baldy. When he breaks down these games. So we're gonna hop right into our Baldy segment. And let's tap into with the passing game right now. With a good passing day. Absolutely. I remember when a good passing day for a QB was 350 yards. They expect that every week. That's not the NFL. That's not the NFL. But let's hop into Baldy. Let's look at this passing game and let's show you. So the people that believe that he can't do these things, let's show you, give you some physical evidence, some video evidence of showing you the passing game and Jalen Hurts.
You have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. It's really not that hard to get him the ball. Like here's just a little play action right here, roll, and just spacing. All right, zone coverage right here. Just get it. Let A.J. do what he does. He averages 17 yards a catch. He's dangerous as hell after the catch. So now you look at him right here and you go, here they are, Devontae and A.J. Now you just run this little fade route right here. And look, Joey Porter's a good player, but he ain't beating A.J. Brown for that ball in the air. No way. No way, no how. Now you get it here. All right, first touchdown of the game. Dante Jackson on him. Like, here they are in this little wing Tia action right here. Play action. And really, the way that A.J. times it up, it looks like it's an inside run. So he slow plays it right here, and then he bursts. And then Jalen put it right on him. And you watch it right here, and you've got Wilson there, and they got Devontae here. Devontae pitched up the blitz off the edge. And then no hesitation here. Just fire it. Perfect place. Touchdown. AJ's in the end zone. First touchdown of the day. Now you get this right here. All right? Up there at the top. All right? You can see just like this in cut right here. And the separation he gets. And then they can't tackle him. He's just too strong. Too strong and too violent with the ball in his hands. Now you get down here right here. Right? Fourth quarter. All right? What can you do right here? Again, like he just throws Joey Porter right out of the way. Just tosses him. Like a two-hand swipe right there. Joey Porter's like, man, he pushed me. Yeah, he did. He's bigger and stronger than you. That's why. Then you get this right here. Fourth quarter, time to put him away. Here you go. Like this little in-cut. Look at him come back to the ball. And then pivot on the catch and just refute. Ooh, tough tackle right there by Pierre. Anyways, great day by A.J. Brown, Jalen, Devontae. Everybody should be happy. Great offense. Beat a good team.
Y'all heard him for Baldy yourself. Everywhere. The middle. Sideline. Hash mark. Down the seam. Off his back foot. With pressure in his pocket. When in the pocket. All the things everyone said he couldn't do. All the things he said he couldn't do. No. We ain't wrapping this Steelers discussion up at all. This all day, baby. This all day. Because this was one of the main things. Appreciate everyone coming in. I appreciate everyone being in here today. We gonna have some fun. We talking birds. Fly, Eagle, fly. You already know it's that day. It's that day. Victory Monday. But again, Jalen Hurts. Sensational. Sensational yesterday. Something I've always spoken about that he's done. We can go as far as last year, even though we know how last year transpired down the end of the stretch. We got to remember that first half of the season when he was nicked up, the knee situation, all those things like that. So when he was forced to stand in the pocket, he was forced to make these different throws. The MVP year that he was supposed to win it, made all these type of throws on the run in the pocket. How did we forget already? How did we forget? This is what I speak about with the recency bias and the overanalyzation of, I don't know if that's a word, but hey, I'm going to use it today. The overanalyzation of Jalen Hurts, the quarterback. I know they don't want to see them win. What Kodak say? They don't want to see me winning. They want to see me in the... Listen, they don't want to see him win. It's not the same. He's not 6'4". He's not 200 and he's not the typical quarterback. He's not going to play the typical type of game. But whatever is asked of Jalen Hurts that is needed on that field Sunday in and Sunday out, he delivers. Again, I've said it. I'm more surprised when he doesn't make certain plays on the field versus when things doesn't happen. Because I know what he is capable of. No one is Jalen Hurts a bigger critic than himself. He doesn't have the most flashiest press conferences. He doesn't give you much. He doesn't throw the ball amazingly as you want him to throw it or you expect a quarterback to throw. But guess what he does? And y'all poo-poo it. He goes out there and win the game. And no, the notion of him holding back this team, no. Jalen Hurts, if the Philadelphia Eagles, when they reach the Super Bowl and when they win the Super Bowl, you book it here on Open Gym, Philly Sports Network. Jalen Hurts will be the MVP because he will be the leading reason for the win versus him not being the leading. I know Saquon Barkley is special. And I would not be surprised, and I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if we was in a playoff game, Super Bowl, whatever, and Saquon Barkley had an amazing game. He's that special. But we all know that's not how it's going to transpire. That if this team is to win a Super Bowl, our quarterback has to be special in that game. He's shown that. Even in a Super Bowl loss, special. It wasn't because of him we lost, in my opinion. Yes, he had turnovers, but it wasn't because of him or why we lost, in my opinion. This is what I speak of about Jalen Hurts. He's QB1. He is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, yes. Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, yes. One more time for the haters in the back. Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, yes. We ain't going to do it like you want us to do it. We trying to win games. We have an ultimate goal. Accolades come along with it. I appreciate it. Thank you. But guess what? We trying to hold the Lombardi. And back to AJ Brown. Like I said, I didn't take it like that. Would I have liked him to say it out publicly? No. Not because of what he said and what he was talking about, because he's absolutely right. My reason why I didn't want him to say it out loud is because I know this fan base. I know how the media covers the Eagles, home and national. They weren't going to take that snippet by AJ Brown as just what he said. And yes, he possibly, and I do believe partially, was speaking about Jalen Hurts. Because we all seen the game and what was missed out there on that field against the Panthers. But I know how the media and fans cover this team, that when you say something like that, that's just automatically they don't like each other. This person must have did this to them. They aren't the same anymore. No. These are grown men. And grown men sometimes have to have tough conversations, whether you like it or not. And these are best friends. I know it's said a lot. Best friends, father, not father, but godfather of children and all those things like that. We all have friends. We don't always agree. It ain't always sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes you gotta tap your brother. Yo, man, you want some nut stuff? You drawing right now. You know our Philly folk, you know how we say, you drawing right now. You want some nut stuff right now. Get your stuff together. Let's do what we got. Yeah, it's tough. We gonna probably argue for sure and all this, that, and the third. But yeah. But guess what they did when they came out against the Steelers? They went out there and dominated. Dominated a Steelers team. Dominated a Steelers team. 27-13. Another 20-plus point game. Holding them to 13 points is absolutely crazy. And it's a stat here that what's the guy? Not Jeff McCain. John Clark of NBC Sports Philly. That blew my mind that I seen here, and I'm gonna show it here for you right now. The Eagles got the ball with 10 minutes and 29 seconds left in the game. Never, not practice, in the game. Never gave up 21 points. I don't know what he's saying right there. But again, the point of the matter is the Steelers only had 2 possessions in the second half. So basically, once the Eagles got the ball with 10 minutes left in the game, they never gave the ball back. They never gave the ball back. That's dominance. For a whole second half, you on the offense of the Steelers got the ball twice. Got the ball twice. And it's just amazing. It's just amazing what they did to the Steelers coming into this game. So let's see. If we look at the Steelers, last couple games, let me pull it up here. Got you. So prior to that, Steelers won against the Browns 27-14. Steelers beat the Bengals. They put up 44 points on that game, in that game as well. That was 44-38 against the Bengals. Let's see. The Steelers, they played Cleveland again. They lost that one. They only had 19 points. Game before that, 18 points. But then once you get back to what's that week, November 10th, 28 points, 26 points, 37, 32. So again, they were scoring points in the 20s. And even the lower score games, 18, 19, and the other team only, like I said, they lost to the Browns, but the first time, but the Browns only scored 24. They lost to they beat the Ravens, but that was the defensive game, 18, and they held the Ravens to 16 points. Against the Commanders, they scored 27. And again, this defense is good. Not as good as we know about the Ravens and the Steelers in the past, but we held them to just 13 points, people. 13 points, family. 13 points. 26 first downs to their 10. 131 yards rushing to their 56. Like I said, 290 yards passing to their 128. Net yard, let's see. 2 turnovers versus their 1. We got 1, but they got us with 2. 10, converted 10 out of our 17 third downs versus their 3 out of their 10. Converted 1 fourth down to their 9. Time of possession, 40 minutes to their 20. 40. That's a game. That's literally a game. That's literally a game. Hell, Russell Westbrook, and we'll get into the defense shortly as well. Because another dominating game as well. And I want to shout out to Nick Sirianni because he deserves credit where credit is due. I know a lot has been talked about Nick Sirianni as well. Nick Sirianni is showing why he's the head coach. We all knew he was a motivator. He was a, you know, a motivator, get these guys ready to play a game. He's shown that. The biggest issue with Nick Sirianni was don't F up the game. In game. Don't F it up. Make decisions that are calculated and right in those moments. We had the stint early in the season of always going forward on fourth down. We seen it again. It bit the aggressiveness by the head coach, bit the Lions in the butt again. Granted, they were down, but going for an onside kick basically at the start of the fourth quarter, it was like that's nonsense. That's nonsense. But those are things we don't need. This team is too good. It's safety proof for everyone. This current Eagles roster is a safety net for everyone on every level. Howie Roseman, for how it's constructed. Safety net for you. Who you have on the field playing every week for you, Nick Sirianni and Kellen Moore. Safety net for you. Quarterback, you have Saquon, safety net. Saquon, you got the wide receiver, safety net. Running back and wide receiver, you got a quarterback that can extend plays and make plays, winning plays, safety net. Offensive line in front of you for pass blocking and run blocking, safety net. Safety net for you. Defense playing the way y'all playing, safety net. But the offense playing what y'all playing going to help the defense. This is what I'm saying. These are things that this team is so good that it shouldn't be an issue that you don't have to do too much. And back to Nick Sirianni and why I bring that up. This team could have completely imploded Sunday afternoon against the Steelers. And we have a prime example of last year when things went bad in the locker room. It went totally south and down the toilet for the team on the field. From DC coordinator changes, demotions, all these different things. Imploded. This could have completely jumped off the rails and completely sent this team into the pooper. But we didn't let it happen. We didn't let it happen. He didn't let it happen, I should say, Nick Sirianni. He did not let it happen. Had this team once again ready to play. Only 4 penalties on the day again. So low in penalties again, once again. Down Dallas Goedert again. Calcaterra ready to go. Losing Landon Dickerson during the game. Tyler Steen steps into the game. Not a moment, not a situation lost. Ready to play. Attention to detail. In the homework rooms, in the classrooms, learning. Was with some Georgia Bulldogs players this past week, talking to them, and Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter specifically, and they both literally said the same thing about the attention to details in the homework rooms, how when they go home, they like to, relax, take their mind off things at times, just, decompress from the workday. Because those homework rooms are like they back in college, they back in school. We talking about 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-hour days in those rooms. How Jeff Stoutland has them literally in notebooks writing, looking at film, how Nick Sirianni preaches attention to detail, how he preaches to study habits, and it shows on the field. It shows on the field, and it has been showing itself on the field week in and week out, that this team has been constantly, since the bye week, prepared week in and week out. And after all that was said, fans, media, social media, all these things all week, this clean team could have came out and completely folded and imploded. And we could be talking about something totally different this morning. And talking about something totally different when it comes to playoffs and different things of that nature like that. But no, they came out even more ready to go. Even more ready to go. So we have to give credit when credit's due. When he does something bad, or when he messes up a game, or he makes a certain call that can maybe cost us the game, or maybe hinder us from getting a possession, or whatever it might be, we're going to call it out. But when he has his team week in and week out ready to play the way they have been playing each week, we have to call it out. Nick Sirianni is doing a great job this season. Had a slow start. What happened to that? The slow starts. We've been seeing that each week gradually getting better. The first 15 script, I know this week it ended in 3 points, but that's improvement. Maybe next week is 7 points this time. Again, that's the front seven of this Pittsburgh Steelers is still good. TJ Watt still wreaked havoc. Lane Johnson said it like it was a battle out there that he might have some nightmares after the game battling with TJ Watt because he's so special. We have to give credit where's credit due to Nick Sirianni and his coaching staff. Because again, your coaching staff only mimics what the coach is preaching. They're not off doing their own thing. They're not off doing their own thing. Things have to be mimicked from the head coach. This is coming there. So when you see the offensive line, yes, Jeff Stoutland is teaching them the techniques and in the homework room with them, but he can't teach the way he teach if his head coach isn't relaying that as well. Coaches have to be aligned as well. And I want to give the offensive line some credit, so offensive line a shout out. Back to Baldy. Show you how this offensive line was playing this week.
Decision. Like you see, Landon Roberts is the only linebacker. It's a light 5-man box. So he's getting like, Saquon, you get over here, and we're going to pull Juergens right here, like we used to pull Kelsey, and we're going to run right out of Landon Roberts. Like, you look at how big it's a canyon to run through. So they're just difficult to defend because even if you do try to take things away, the amount of time that this offensive line gives Jalen Hurts to make decisions, like nobody gets this kind of time. Becton stabbing Montravius Adams. Like he's got time right here. Do anything he wants to do. Step up, find Devontae, bingo. Another 20-yard gain. Then he sees this right here. Like he's seeing this Steelers defense just completely open up. Like he's supposed to foul Juergens on this play. Like but he sees this. He's like, I don't need to foul Juergens. I'll just go make the free safety miss, run right by him. Maybe TJ Watt can keep me out of the end zone. And then this is just unfair. To have this kind of time right here is just not fair. Like he's got time to do online shopping right here. Christmas shopping, you want to go online, he's got time to go through, I don't know, Amazon right here. I don't know what website he's on right here. But you know what? A point. I got time. Like nobody gets this kind of time. And he'll find Devontae Smith in the middle of the field. Like the offensive line was outrageously good.
Outrageously good. This is the only sentiments I had against the Panthers was just make those throws. You got the time. offensive line. Shout out to the offensive line. And if you looked at those clips, like I said, Tyler Steen was in there at times when Landon Dickinson got out the game. This is what I'm talking about. This whole team is safety net proof that literally, if you do your job, the Super Bowl is the limit for years to come. But especially this year, we have all the tools, and I see everyone in here commenting. Keep the comments coming, chat. I appreciate it. We're going to get to some of them. If you got any questions, you got any statements, anything you want to say, like I said, write them in the comments. We're going to definitely read some of these comments, and I'm going to respond to them. But again, this game was what needed to be showed, that we are for real. I've been saying it. Some people just still needed to believe it. And not necessarily the team, because I know people believe the team itself. But Jalen Hurts himself. Jalen Hurts himself. I never understood the overanalyzation of Jalen Hurts. Yes, I said overanalyzation again. But again, no other quarterback gets this much scrutiny in his play. He's not going to do it the way you wanted to do it. And people took offense when he said it like that. Jack Fritz, all those people like that. Take offense. It's fine. But it's true. He's going to win the game. You just seen it. Baldy pointed out, offensive line, he's supposed to follow Jurgens when he pulled. He said, no, I'm Jalen Hurts. I see the first down right in front of me. I'm just going to go and make the safety miss. That's the quarterback that we have. Everyone can't do that. You literally can count on one hand quarterbacks that's going to do that. And I can tell you, Lamar, Josh, Patrick, there's no one else. And even at that, granted, Josh Allen this year, I have to give it to him. He's been on another level. I would only have to say Patrick Mahomes, who's really like, he gets on my nerves the way he scrambles and makes people fall for the little pump fake throw he does all the time and go out there and get you 12 yards running stuff. But it's not many quarterbacks that's doing that. No, Joe Burrow's not doing that on a consistent basis. No, Joe Burrow's not doing that. No, Justin Herbert and all these cats that they're trying to put in front of him. Kirk Cousins in front of Jalen Hurts this year early on in the season. What has Kirk Cousins done this year? They're in Atlanta calling for the rookie. Sam Darnold, Aaron Rodgers, CJ Stroud, and I like CJ. But he had 1 year. He had 1 year. And you had guys like that in front of Jalen Hurts, who went to a Super Bowl, who played spectacular in a Super Bowl. Where y'all at now? Where are y'all at now? Because I'm right here. I never left. Through the ups, through the downs, through the BS, through the cheers, through the jeers. We always going to be here, man. Great win by the team yesterday. Great win by the team yesterday. Like I said, we're going to get on this defense, man, because this defense has been special since the bye week. The defense dominated once again this week. Holding Russell Wilson, 22 attempts, 14 completions, only 128 yards, 1 passing touchdown. Had a 94.5 passer rating, sacked 2 times, 21 yards. He ran 4 times for only 13 yards. His highest receiver has 65 yards, and that's someone called Calvin Austin. There was no George Pickens today. Sunday afternoon, which I don't think it probably would have been that much of a difference. Yes, he probably would have made a play here and there, but he's more the downfield threat. So, but the way they've been playing and the way the pressure and the defensive line was getting to Russell Wilson yesterday, he didn't even have the time to do that. Anytime he tried to, they poured out the flea flicker yesterday. You know you in trouble when you trying to generate some chunk yardage off of flea flicker. Off the flea flicker. off the flea flicker. Calvin Austin, 65 yards for all 5 of his catches. Pat Fairman, the tight end, 6 targets, 3 catches, 22 yards and a touchdown. Then after that is nothing. You had a 1 catch here, 1 catch here from Mike Williams, 1 catch here from Van Jefferson. I don't know how you catch a ball and have no yards, but yeah, I guess he caught at the line of scrimmage and fell. 1 catch from Najee Harris, who didn't play a lot. He had a fumble or a bad exchange between him and Russell Wilson. He had 14 yards for 6 carries. Jalen Warren, the backup running back, 4 yards, 4 rushes for 12. They put Cordell Patterson in, 2 rushes for 9 yards. What we talking about? Defense had a heck of a game. Jacoby Dean led the team in tackles, but you know his running mate and linebacker right next to him with 5, Zach Bond, and Jacoby Dean with 7. You had 2 sacks yesterday, 1 by Josh Sweat and 1 by Nolan Smith, who's been coming on, and I have to give my respect to him because, you know, losing Hassan, knowing what Hassan Reddick brings to the table, Nolan Smith had to take that jump, and he is taking it. Back to my guy Baldy showing the quintessential play. That's not the sack from Nolan Smith, but it's the sack from Josh Sweat. But still, it shows how good he has been becoming and has become this, I mean, all over the floor. Let's look at Baldy and let's look at what
Edge rushes here on 3rd down. Let's watch Josh Sweat against Dan Moore. Like, he's going for the cross chop. He doesn't quite get it, but he still gets that leg through right here. So he's coming from one side. Now watch this rush by Nolan Smith from the other side against his former teammate here, Broderick Jones. Like, you watch how low he is and the power that he comes through with. Now both ends get to Russell Wilson. All right, and down he goes. It's just a 4-man rush. 4-man rush on 3rd and 10. Sweat gets the sack. Nolan Smith was a big part of it, and the celebration is on. Like, there's no time to get the ball down the field against those Vultures.
I told you they pulled out the flea flicker. They pulled out the flea flicker. Russell Wilson didn't have time. 4-man rush. 4-man rush. I just said it at the beginning of this show. We have a complete team where we're a safety net for every position has a safety net. Now the back end, our DBs, linebackers, and safety can go do their thing. We can drop everybody back in coverage if we're getting pressure like that. If we're getting pressure like that for just the front 4. Just the front 4 completely held Russell Wilson to 129 passing yards. The whole game. People get that. Jalen Hurts had that in the first half. Had that in the first half of the game this year. Trying to pull up some stats here. Let's see. Because with Russell Wilson, the past couple games. Okay, so you have, let's see, where's the yardage? There we go. So 128 yards, we all know from Philly, right? Leading up to this, outside of Cleveland, the game before, that's a division game, so you know how those go. He only had 158 yards. But after that, 414 yards, 270 yards, 205 yards, 195 yards, 278 yards, 264 yards. That's the last 7 games. The last 7 games, this defense held within the last 8 games, 7 games, this defense held Russell Wilson to his lowest passing yards. His lowest passing yards. Completion percentage to all those in the high 60s to 70s. 63% completion percentage this week. Didn't throw a lot because he couldn't throw. 14 to 22 14 completions out of 22 passes, that would look a little better, obviously, but you didn't throw a lot. You didn't throw a lot. I average only 5 yards a pass. That's a run. You want that from your running back to average 5 yards a run. 5 yards a pass. And 94. I'm telling y'all, this defense has definitely been growing. And I told you the connectivity of this defense has been continuing, and it's showing out there on the field. The defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers did absolutely nothing. Couldn't generate anything on the ground, couldn't generate, and that was supposed to be a weak part of the defense, of the Eagles defense. Vic Fangio, I said it last show, Vic Fangio got these boys playing. Got these boys playing. All that talk in Miami last year about him not being a boulder dash. Y'all just didn't buy in. You was feeling yourself. You had all those star names over there, guys who thought they knew better, when all you had to do was do your job. He has an undersized linebacker, I mean, to the standards of the NFL, because, you know, my short guys, we done some amazing things in life. But you had a so-called undersized linebacker. You have a linebacker playing inside that was stationed on the outside with a whole nother team as an edge rusher on a whole nother team on the practice squad, made him your starter inside linebacker. You got only year 2, year 3 defensive linemen on the defensive line. Undrafted guys on the line, Thomas Booker, Joe Moore, he was drafted late round draft picks. Got rid of your star pass rusher outside record and nothing skipping the beat. Got a rookie slot corner, a rookie cornerback starting. Nothing missed a beat. You got an undrafted safety, a converted corner into a safety is C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Reed Blankenship. Not missed a beat. This defense is tops in the league. I said it before, the best defense in the NFL. Hands down. And not because of, yes, there's other units in the NFL that are great. We just talked about it. Or special players. You got people like TJ Watt who can literally wreck a game by itself. You got players on other teams, and you got teams that are very good at run stopping. You got teams that are very good at pass defense. But I consider this the best team in NFL, best defensive team. Yeah, best team in NFL as well, but best defense in the NFL because of the unit itself. The unit itself complements each other from the line to the safeties on every level. Everyone does their job. Everyone knows what they're supposed to do. The communication is there. When you got guys that go out for plays or for injured or whatever like that, guys come in, you don't even miss a beat. When you bring in guys, you think you want to go and pick on them. Nope, you get a pass breakup out of Tristan McCullum, who had to come in last week for Reed Blankenship. Slay get banged up again, had to miss a couple plays against the Steelers. Isaiah Rodgers steps in, doesn't miss it. You don't even realize people are out the game. I just told you about Tyler Steen coming in for Landon Dickinson, who left the game. Don't miss a beat. Nick Sirianni, head coaching job. I said that. And Vic Fangio specifically with this defense, because we're on a defense, has this team playing so well. I don't see us having an issue with anyone. The Vikings with Justin Jefferson and the Lions. The only two people that we're fighting for the number 1 seed. Again, great game won by this team. I'm glad they got all the talk out of the way. I'm glad they got all the naysayers to hush that fuss, to get out of here with all that. Like A.J. Brown said, shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, because hopefully it's over. I got scrutinized for what I was saying, made Oliver to be a villain, but hey, my job was done. I was saying it for a reason because I know that this team can be way better, and you did, and he's right about that. He absolutely right. I just didn't want him saying it because of how the media and fans will perceive it. But he was absolutely right. This team can astronomically get better if we start incorporating. And again, we didn't do anything special. Yes, he threw a little bit more this week because that was more of a sticker to you type of game. Because I do believe the remaining weeks he might throw just a tick more instead of it being 20 attempts. Maybe they push it up to 25 attempts. Maybe they push it up to 25 attempts now. But all that matters is just the routine. It's just the routine plays. It's just the routine plays that had to be made that we didn't see him make the previous week against the Panthers. Jalen Hurts, I speak of. If you just make them now, great things happen. There was nothing special that they did when they was out there throwing the ball. Same type of concepts, same type of plays. I do like the fact that Kellen Moore is integrating more and more different packages and variations of plays and different formations each week. I definitely see that. Shouts out to Kellen Moore. He's been doing a good job as well. I know we don't want to talk about it as much, but back from when he was speaking, we were speaking on him as far as play calling, what are you doing? He had to feel his way through this season as well. And as the week's been going on, he's been getting comfortable calling plays. It wasn't a lot of different while we calling these plays going on that saying for me while watching these games. And he's incorporating a lot more different type of plays into and schemes into this as well. But this team is ready to go and ready to rock and roll. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Probably these guys going out there showing off, showing these guys, that we can win this way. Because like I said, all this is going to do is just make us even more of a threat and even better. While teams have been cooking all season long, in the passing game, and they're saying we couldn't do this, that, and the third. We here now. Let us get into. We've been winning by running most of the time. Yes, we have some good throwing games in there as well too. We've been winning by running most of the time. So we get this offense going, and continue this trend with the passing game. It's whatever. It's whatever. Let's get to some of these comments before we move on to our standings. And we update you on the standings and if I get any injury news, I'll definitely. I'm looking at the site and everything like that. If I get any Eagles injury news updates, I'll definitely let that be known as well too while we're on here. But let's get some of the comments. Let's see. Absolutely, Jeffrey. So we got another one. We spoke about that. We lost the Super Bowl because of our defense wasn't up. Our defense wasn't up for the task. The defense now is. And Jalen outperformed Mahomes statistically in the Super Bowl. The Eagles team is on all cylinders, cannot be beat. Absolutely. Absolutely. I spoke about it. These are things that we've seen him do countless times. So it's not like this is anything crazy that I'm speaking about. I've seen my guy, Jalen Hurts. Yes, I said it. My guy. I've seen Jalen Hurts do this already. So the notion that he's a passenger on this bus and not the bus driver is crazy to me. Jalen Hurts not being the bus driver and he's the passenger on this thing is crazy to me. That's the only quarterback I know is a passenger on the team, just because they have a lot of good players. Other teams have good players too. They're not passengers. Jalen Hurts is the driver in this team. Like Jeffrey said, we've seen him statistically play better than Patrick Mahomes. And on top of that, the only quarterback in, if I give you one better, Jeffrey, the only quarterback in the NFL to beat Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow. All the guys that everyone wants to speak about is head and shoulders better than the guy. just because he plays a certain way. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. We got DJ. A mixture of passing and scrambling for a QB is hard to find the perfect balance. Scrambling QBs disturb the rhythm of the offense, but the threat of the run gets wide receivers open. It can, it absolutely can disturb it, but the way this team is set up, how I perceived it, and how I've been uh looking at this team going forward, it's a part of the game. So it's not necessarily a lot of off scripted things. Yes, off scripted person is going to disturb the rhythm of an offense. Off scripted things happen at times, but Jalen's running ability is a part of it. Is a part of this. So when he runs, it doesn't bother them to the point where they can't, get back on track or do whatever they need to do to continue a drive or anything to that effect. What I can say is that passing and running quarterback that is as efficient as Jalen Hurts and as good as at it as Jalen Hurts definitely can disturb a defense for sure, because you think you got him and you don't. You think you handing it off, but he's throwing a slant. You think he's about to go throw the slant again, but he's keeping it for himself and he's going. So it definitely plays a part in disturbing and disrupting a defense that's up against them for sure. So let's see. Let's see what else we got here. Steelers don't have any answers to beat the Eagles, so they decided to test our hearts and physics. Now I want to get into that. This is good, DJ. I'm gonna put another one up here from you. Pittsburgh Steelers didn't have answers to beat the Eagles, so they decided to test our hearts with physicality. And how did that go? That's one thing I spoke about as well when it comes to the Eagles in this season. Is I feel like talent-wise, the Eagle teams know that the Eagles are good talent-wise, but so they try to go into these games and try to be super physical and all these things like that they think are going to get this team off their game, when all actuality is not. Because I love the fact that this Eagles team comes out and plays with physicality. There's a clip of rookie Jalen Hunt going, excited after the win, going into the locker room after the game, and the camera catches him saying, they said the Steelers are going to be more physical than us. Let's go. Because I know that the Steelers say, hey, we can't beat them. Let's go out there. And you seen it in the clip with Baldy on the passing game. Yeah, he went down there and, he hit drop tackle, which I thought was illegal this year, on AJ Brown, and it messed up, and he got a little banged up. Hopefully he's okay today. But again, they tried to go out physical because they's fighting with Slay in the end zone and all these things of that nature like that. No, that's not happening. That's not, you're not going to outfit, and I love that for this team this year. You're not going to out physical us. That was the issue last year. They out physicaled us down the stretch of games last year. You're not doing that this year with this team. You're not doing that this year with this team. I appreciate everybody stepping in with me today. Let's see what else we got on the menu here. For you guys. Like I said, I'm gonna update the standings for you. Let's hop into these standings real fast. There, I don't see any injury news right now. So if anything happens, make sure you tap in, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to excuse me, the YouTubes and Twitter, all those things. Stay up to date because we would definitely have that information out for y'all as well. So currently NFC, Eagles and Lions are tied at 10-2. Number one seed in the NFC is right there for the taking. Vikings do play tonight, Monday Night Football. Excuse me, against, I believe, is the Browns. So, excuse me. all likelihood the Vikings should win that game, so they'll be tied at 12-2 as well with us for the number 1 seed. So it's right in front of us. All we got to do is win. Down the stretch, we have 4 games left with this season. Comparing each of the games that's left in the season between each teams, like I said, all of ours are division games. So we got Dallas coming up. I think we got Dallas coming up, Washington, and then we have the Giants as well. I think twice, because I don't think we played the Giants yet. We got somebody in between those games as well too. I'll pull it up for us right now if I can pull that up really fast. But either way, we got a few games coming up. Excuse me. This week that the number 1 seed is right there for us for the taking. Long as we do our part and win the games, who knows? You know, we just hear that the Lions suffer more injuries. It looks like David Montgomery, the running back, has been hurt. It looked like he might be out for the season. He's talking about meniscus tear or something like that. So he's out indefinitely. I believe they also lost a safety as well. I don't have the name right now. I seen it while I was, surfing the net online. Excuse me. So it looked like when it comes to that, they're decimated. So there's some opportunity there. The Eagles have the Commanders, the Cowboys, and the Giants, like all division games. So they're all going to be tough, absolutely tough, especially Dallas. They've been playing just a tad bit better defensively. I believe they won the game yesterday as well. The Giants, they are who they are, but the Commanders, like I said, again, division games, they're going to be tough regardless. I don't care what their records are. I know they're bottom feeders in our division, specifically the NFC East, but they're still division games. I just told you the Cleveland Browns beat the Steelers. So when you play division games, they're going to be tough. And when they play them the second time, they're going to be tough. So we got those 3 games left. Let me pull up. Excuse me. Let me pull up the Lions, and the Lions and Vikings are in the same division. So that might even come down to they play the Vikings at the end of the year. So the Lions have Chicago, San Fran, and then the Vikings. So either the Vikings or the Lions are going to have at least one more loss. That's hands down, because one of them have to win that game. So we're talking about potentially by week 17, we could be playing for the number 1 seed in the division. Because although the Lions are still a good team, they got Chicago, who plays good in second half, but I can see them beating them. You got San Fran. There's tail spinning, spiraling. That's a Monday night game on the 30th of December. They're spiraling. So who knows what 49ers they get when they play them. So I can see them beating them next 2 games, even with their injuries. And the division and the conference rather is coming down to week 17 or 18, wherever we in now, week 18. Absolutely, I can see that happening. Absolutely. Let's see, the Vikings, their last 3 games. So they have, like I said, Chicago tonight. They should win that, but then they got Seattle, Green Bay, and then, like I said, the Lions. So both teams, they can be winning, because let's say scenario-wise, even if let's say the Lions win their next 2 games, and let's say out of them games, the Vikings lose one of those games. Just hypothetically speaking, lose one of those games. So week 18 can absolutely be, and I only bring this up, it could be meaningful for the Vikings is what I'm saying. It might not be for the number 1 seed, but they're still in the same division. So there's a division that can still be won for the Vikings in week 18, because everyone wants at least one home game and not have to go on the road for your first game in and potentially be playing someone tougher than what you expected if you had the number 1 seed. So the number 1 seed in their division is absolutely up for grab. If all well as everything goes to plan tonight, they're both sitting at 11-2 now. So the Eagles in very great shape going to the stretch run of the season. I look forward to see how this ends out. It's going to be very exciting. It's going to be very fun going into the season. No injury news as of right now. Like I said, only thing I'm seeing right now is, like I said, David Montgomery suffered a torn MCL, so it is a torn MCL. In the loss of the Bills, and as you can see, once they played a good team, so he lost Montgomery, so he's done. He's done. Looks like. Let's see anything else. Nope, 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 nope. Nothing. Eagles, nothing. So yeah. So yeah, man, we on the move. We're moving. Just a side note, because I appreciate everybody stepping in. We had a good time discussing this. On side note, like I said, the Sixers, still Sixers news. They play tonight, 7 p.m. against the Hornets. As we all know, once again, Joel Embiid is injured. Once again, freak accident. I'm not one of those guys that's just like, oh, he's always injured. Like, these are like, I mean, the man's face is just fragile now. He's got hit in the face too many times. Now I didn't know you can break your sinus, so now I see that you can. So, got elbowed in the face, broke his sinus on his face. So you have that, but more of a news to me than that is just the rookie Jared McCain, who's been having a great year. Partial tear on the meniscus in his knee after the concussion incident, or hitting his. I'm not gonna say concussion. They didn't rule it as that because he did come back in the game, but he hit his head on the hardwood floor during the game. But he actually told the coaches and stuff that felt a twinge in my knee. They checked the MRI after their last game. Partial tear meniscus, so he's going to go have the surgery. He's out indefinitely until whenever he's ready to come back. So I'm glad he's at least getting the surgery now to get that cleaned up and fixed so he can be ready for whenever it's time to come back. This season in general is not going to plan. It's not doing, for me personally, I don't see necessarily reason to continue to play, but I'm a fan, so I'm not playing the game. I don't expect guys like Tyrese and Paul George and still there, other guys on the team, not to go put their best foot forward. Something can come out of this. Again, Joel Embiid isn't done for the season, but he'll come back. But how long he's going to be actually in and out of the game will remains to be seen. The only promising thing that I do like the fact of is that even though it's the face, it's not the knee. The knee's feeling good, and when he played well. Even before the injury happened to his face, he was playing well. 5 rebounds. I think he had about 13 points at the time, and he left it. Well, I think it was like the first quarter, essentially, like that. So, I mean, we'll see how this team goes, what happens. Like I said, they played tonight. They played the Hornets. Hornets played them tough all season this season. Hopefully, Maxey or Paul George. I said this in the beginning of the season. We can run the tape back. I always said it that the continuity between Maxey and Paul George will deem more beneficial for this team moving forward than it will be Joel Embiid playing as many games, because you know we're going to get from Joel Embiid in his play. But it's going to be up to those guys to start building on this. This is the time. He's not here now. We need you even more now. You're missing one of your shooters in Jared McCain, so now we got to use a lot more depth of our bench now. Let's get this thing rolling. Let's see what you can do with it. I don't see a lot happening this season right now, but y'all know me. Y'all know AB when it comes to this. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong at any moment, anytime. Go out there and play. I have the ultimate faith in my team. I believe in my team. I want them to do well. All those things. I'm a Sixers fan for life, but when you see certain things happening, when you see certain things trending in a certain way, it's not wrong to sit there and have that line of thought. They shouldn't have it. They should go out there and play how they want to play. But as a fan, as a person observing and watching the games, this is just what I see. And this team right now just isn't good enough, or not even good enough. They just isn't healthy enough or playing enough to even really make a move. We had such a bad start to the season. There's going to be an uphill climb. Granted, the standings show that we're only 5 games out from this position and 2 games out for the play-in and this, that, and the third, all those things of that nature. Had little win streaks throughout the season, but that's one thing I want to see is more consistency when it comes to that moving forward. So I appreciate you guys being here again. any comments, concerns, whatever you got to say about any of our teams, anything in sports. Like I said, the same comments I'm hearing in the chat while I'm on stream live, doing these shows for you guys. You can call this line 484-519-1495. Leave a message, send a text message. We'll try to read some of them even online as well. I do a Instagram content as well. Follow me at only one AB __ on all platforms, and there's only one __ AB on Twitter. Tap in with me. We're gonna have fun doing all this. I appreciate everyone being here with me this morning. Eagles, and you know how we end every show with the Eagles win. If we Eagles win the same way, every way. And we're gonna do it once again and get on out of here. Play the song. On the road too. Sing it out there. Y'all tap in with us each and every week, 11:15 a.m. We go live. We talk about whatever's going on in Philly. We're going to talk it all about it here at Open Gym on Philly Sports Network. I'm your host, AB, and the Eagles won, and the Eagles victory. Sing it now. And yes, sir, we are out of here. Thank you.